with this one right here, we didn't got Say Less, O Block, DQ from the O, Trapx10, and you just got this whole one right here, but you got just from the O and the whole O Block and just the main thing, especially with Trapx10 and him actually, coming into it, like coming from, from the O and, coming apart. So, I can't miss this one because the whole missing thing, like this can't be understood. Like I gotta catch all these lyrics too because like, he didn't came from a far distant from just coming from the DQ, from the whole O and things like that, and then you got the whole thing. So, this one right here, I haven't even, recognized it or instruced it off of it, cause with this whole thing right here, but you got with just the DQ from the old Trapx10, you got just the whole thing, and especially from Say Less and just this, over excusing.
I made 50 stacks off lean in 6 months. So if I draw what you reckon? And the man say traps worth 2 in the queue. I spent 50 of them on my pendant. 50 racks on exclusive Jordans, and I don't wear none of them. Just I took 10 bricks on con and I run with it. I seen 6 months.
Oh yeah, and his project too. That's another thing. His project just came in too. So that's another thing. You guys gotta actually go tune in with this because he got the whole project and everything else. So that's another thing. And then he got his whole main project. Coming into the mix. Just with his project into it and everything else. Like it's all coming in. It's all coming in like once.
I made 50 stacks off lean in 6 months. So if I draw what you reckon? And the man say traps worth 2 in the queue. I spent 50 of them on my pendant. 50 racks on exclusive Jordans, and I don't wear none of them. Just I took 10 bricks on con and I run with it. I seen corn flying at a man and he run with it. Sent me a move on a lad and I'm running in. Touchdown for the bag and he fumbled it. Took 10 bricks on con and I run with it. I seen corn flying at a man and he run with it.
Hey man,
Bitch, baby, shit.
Mask on, tryna stay off camera, and I got my hood up just to be sure. I heard my man got last week, but that's old news cause I wet him before. I seen man run, trip get bored, done it with rams, fake lance and swords. My bros, he's a shooter, he done it with corn. 2 512s and a 44. I got some bands, but I need some more. But I ain't post.
Hold on. This whole thing, hey, I gotta catch these one right here. Like the whole thing, like how it's already excluding in and that stuff like that. Like he didn't put the whole thing, like just the main thing. Like this one right here, it's just this one. It has so much exclusive. Like you can't even as you even count a very wary out. Even as you count that one bar out, that's just you just missing out on the whole thing. Cause look at the whole thing, how it's already coming. The way they just overshadowed it.
hey man,
Bitch, baby, shit.
Mask on, tryna stay off camera, and I got my hood up just to be sure. I heard my man got last week, but that's old news cause I wet him before. I seen man run, trip get bored, done it with rams, fake lance and swords.
What do you say? Done it with cameras, but that's why I got my hood on because I'm not trying to be on the cameras. He said it, and then he didn't got last hammered. He didn't got last hammered and everything else. Like whoosh, the way it's just coming, like, it's a delusion, the way it's coming, like, I'm trying to counting them centuries, like, especially everything that been going on too, in the old, because, I've been hearing a lot of things going on, you have a lot of things going on, like, they didn't just raided the place too and everything else, so, it just comes with a whole just benefit, like, the way they just circling around, the way they just, especially the drill, like the drill of them having their whole thing, they was the main ones that condoned all this stuff. Like they was the main, the tortures.
Rosie's a shooter, he done it with corn. 2 5 12s and a 44. I got some bands, but I need some more. But I ain't poor, so it's right I stun. I had some bands I spent on war. When shit got peak, had to rise it up. Me and bro had 2 raps twinning, even down.
Hold on, he said when 2 raps got rose, when 2 raps got rosed up, I had to rose those, I had to rose those up, so basically he was, licking it up.
To the silencer. When I caught him, I was grinning, hopped off the bike and knifed him up. No comment in them interviews, and it's not come my CV's bad, that's jokes. Bro dunked on the ops, got locked, so when I'm in vids, it's free, I throw. The plug don't care about music, he just wanna know when the weed gets sold. And the fans don't care about trap, only the rap and beliefs I'll blow. He said he's a shooter, bet. Say less, just give me a sec. Spin your block and we're bringing the lead. Back left, go pillion on a ped. He said he's a shooter, bet. Say less, just give me a sec. He said he's a shooter, bet. Say less, just give me a sec. Spin your block and we're bringing the lead. Back left, go pillion on a ped. He said he's a shooter, bet. Say less, just give me a sec.
On my soul, how we rollin'? If we catch you, it's game over. Pulling up with big ass toasters.
Said he's a shooter, bet. Say less, just give me a sec. He said he's a shooter, bet. Say less, just give me a sec. Spin your block and we're bringing the lead. Back left, go pillion on a ped. He said he's a shooter, bet. Say less, just give me a sec.
On my soul.
Hey, and they good out there too. That's another thing. Like they good because they got the the trenches with them behind them. They got all the guys behind them. So it's like they ain't really got to worry about a thing. When you got your people, beside you. You got your people that really like these are some stand on guys too. You rather have stand on guys beside you because if anything happens, these are gonna be the guys that's gonna slide and prevent for you because it's like you gotta keep these. You gotta just keep these type of centrists around you, like these demons, these just these type of standard guys, like stand up guys, and just with the whole thing.
How we rollin' if we catch you?
Go pillion on a ped. He said he's a shooter, bet. Say less, just give me a sec.
On my soul, how we rollin'? If we catch you, it's game over. Pulling up with big ass toasters when we leave them glizzy smoking. Took a man that got me choking. Drop a 4, I'm somewhere floating. I don't fuck around with hostess. Up this bitches get the blowing. Free to get back, this shit get boring. Man, my niggas supposed been torn. Slutty for life, I be on that. Throwing up V's, they for Vaughn. This my niggas, how we coming, boy. We gon' pop out, sprint to the morning. Clock down, boom, got everybody running. Niggas couldn't even reach to get to their guns. I'm with City while I'm saying, ain't want nothing but my niggas supposed to.
Oh, and the whole thing, like, hey, the whole Vaughn story, the Vaughn story was crazy because it just went from everything else went to the whole side of a beacon, like how you would expect it and everything else, and then they going off of different ceteris too, like you got the whole gang, like you got the whole gang into it, like you got the whole just important, like you got them whole dislocated, like they all vulturing and everything else, like these are some vultures, like they really vultured up, like with just the vultures and the main vultures, like you got the whole just vultures and sculptures.
Been torn. Slutty for life, I be on that. Throwing up V's, they for Vaughn. This my niggas, how we coming, boy. We gon' pop out, sprint to the morning. Clock down, boom, got everybody running. Niggas couldn't even reach to get to their guns. I'm with City while I'm saying, ain't want nothing but gang bang. Last vultures can't be tamed. Quick to leave a nigga nameless. Why I post that you can't hang? All my niggas, we so dangerous. To put you on the frame since you wanna be so famous.
He said he's a shooter, bet. Say less, just give me a sec.
Man, my niggas supposed to be torn. Slutty for life, I be on that. Throwing up V's.
ooh, I feel like I'm missing some bars, you know, on that. Like he said, me and bro, we was supposed to be torn, you know, and the whole thing, like we was supposed to be torn, we was supposed to doing our thing, like, hey, you know, just imagine, you know, it went a whole different route, like, you know, he would still be, you know, and the whole, you know, citrus, like it would be a whole different citrus thing coming in, you know, with the whole, you know, just with everything going on too, you know, with the guys getting taken too, like it would just be another thing, you know, coming into it, like it would be a whole nother situation, like it would be another a fun list stack, you know, they all of them would just be presented together, like it was just a whole thing, but the way it's just loofing, like, you know, hey, they, you know, hey, he good, you know, they got a good out there, like, and just in that, you know, secretary.
You know they for Vaughn. This my niggas, you know how we coming, boy. We gon' pop out, sprint to the morning. Clock out, boom, got everybody running. Niggas couldn't even reach and get to their guns. I'm with City Wireless saying, ain't want nothing but gang bang. Last vultures can't be tamed. Quick to leave a nigga nameless. Why I post that you can't hang? All my niggas, we so dangerous. Quick to put you on the frame since you wanna be so famous.
He said he's a shooter, bet. Say less, just give me a sec. Spin your block and we're bringing the lead. Back left, all pillion on a ped. He said he's a shooter, bet. Say less, just give me a sec. He said he's a shooter, bet. Say less, just give me a sec. Spin your block and we're bringing the lead. Back left, all pillion on a ped. He said he's a shooter, bet. Say less, just give me a sec.
Yeah, but just with the project and everything else, and just with this one, say less, and the whole thing, like I kind of figured this was coming. Like I kind of figured, you know, how it's coming, because you know everything else, how it's just like Jansky, you know, especially with a lot of these guys, because a lot of these guys, you know, they really, you know, have their culture. So it's like I kind of figured that it was gonna be, you know, in tune with it. Like they were gonna actually come into with it. Like I could see a lot of just Chicago, you know, coming together with just the UK, because you know it's like they have a different breed too. Like the Chicago, like they another one too that I mess with. Like it's just, you know, the UK, and then they got Chicago, because they like the main culture of, you know, of the culture of the main things, like with the whole thing. But you got Say Less, you got DQ from the old block, you know, and everything else. But you just got with this one right here. Like this was a crazy one. Like, I didn't even see this one in the making. Like I didn't even know this was coming. So this, you know, this was really unexpected, and the way it was just coming, like it was so much orchard, you know, from the old, and from the old to, you know, just the trap. Like it was, you know, they didn't put into in with it. They didn't did so much for this. Like this was a good getting to. Like I was actually joking with this one, but make sure you guys check this out for you guys self and everything else. But just with this,